I wanted to do this interview because of a couple of reasons. One, you've just been with me this like whole time. And I'm like, wait, out of all the interviews I've done, I need to do one with Judy because she's been there since like the very beginning of everything that I've been doing. And two, you just really impressed me with your fitness level, how consistent you are. Like you were just telling me, you're on the road. You're like, I'm going to log in and work out. Sometimes when, you know, people come up to you, you're like, hey, I'm going to work out, and they're joining you for the workouts. So I just wanted to jump on here and ask you a few questions and get you to talk and even give me some suggestions. So my first question, and I kind of know the answer already, but I wanted to put this in the interview, is do you remember when you first started training with me?
I do remember. I was really feeling like I needed to do something different. I think that's probably one of the biggest things. You know, I've been a runner all my life, and I was starting to get bored with running. And, you know, when, like, if you're a runner, you have a certain kind of fitness. You're not, you know, there's things that you might be lacking in, which is maybe a little bit more of the muscle strength, or, you know, some of the things like that. And I really wanted to do something different. But one of the big reasons too is I was really starting to get tired of running, and I was starting to have problems with my feet.
I remember.
And so I went into that ACAC over at Pantops, and I saw that sign for that boot camp, and I'm like, that's for me. Okay. So I took, you know, like I took a couple of the classes with you, and I was like, I remember coming home telling my husband, I'm like, okay, this is going to be my new thing.
That is awesome. I'm so glad. Yeah, I remember that too. And I remember right away me going like, she's fiery. She was always like, I'm not going to grab the 5s. I'm going to grab the 7.5s. Or I'm not, I can go from 7.5s. You know what? I'm going to try the 10s this time. I'm like, I don't have to babysit her. I don't have to coerce her. She's about it. And the cool part about it was you had told me, yeah, I'm a runner. I work out often, but you feel different after like some of those workouts than you have before. And I was like, yes, I'm hoping to get people to understand like that feeling of a good sore. Like that means your body's adapted.
Right. You know, I think sometimes, particularly like my friends, and when we talk about working out and all that, they overdo it and they don't understand. You've got to be able to work out and push yourself and grow in your fitness. But if every time you go to work out, it is so hard that you can't enjoy it and you can't recover. You're not going to, it's not going to be sustainable for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm a disciplined person, and you know, consistency, when I think in January you said, the word of the month is consistency. And I was like, that's me. I'm consistent. And I mean, it is Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I am in those classes unless I'm in another country. Okay?
Yeah. And even when you're in another state, in another time zone, like you've logged in.
Like I do that, you know, like some of the on-demands too, because I know what I'm going to get out of it, and I know it's going to be a good workout. The timing works really well, I think, for most people. I mean, you can get up, you get your workout, you get ready for work, you go to work. And I tell my sisters, this is perfect for you. You work out at your own pace. I mean, like, you don't have heavy weights. And there are mornings, like I'll go down and I'm like, wow, I'm just really not feeling like super with it today. But sometimes usually we'll get in there and get going, but you can kind of take it however you need it to be. But when you're in it, you are motivated to really kind of push yourself. So that's nice.
It's funny, I hear you say that, and you're talking about how customizable it is for each and every person. And it's funny, I hear you say that, talking about like, oh, some days I'm not feeling it as much, so I kind of scale it down. But I notice a lot of the time when I'm like, hey guys, we're going to do something a little bit lighter. Maybe we'll try this move body weight. Sometimes I see you try body weight a set, and then you're like, wait, let me grab this medicine ball. Let me grab this weight, and you add on weight. So, but that's like the cool part of it, right? That's why you can have so many different fitness levels do a move, because of how you can customize or how you can modify the exercises, right? Even though there's a timer, that is more rigid, your exercise can be like fluid with it. You can like skip a few seconds here. All right, I'm gonna join. Maybe you take a little breather and you jump back in. So yeah, and you know what? It's kind of funny because my next question was about the sustainability and the how long that you've been able to work out consistently. One of the biggest deterrents to people's fitness goals, especially as they get, I don't like the O word, so I'm gonna say more mature. One of the biggest deterrents is injury. And you were talking about it, you were hinting towards it. Active people, the only difference between us and non-active people as we age is we know the reasons why we're achy and we're sore. The others, like, they make them like, oh, why is that? We actually know because of things we do. But it gets to the point in time where if we don't train the right way or load manage the right way or strengthen the right way, there's going to be injury. So one thing that I've thought about you is I can't remember a time where you're like, oh, Mike, I have to take a long extended break because you were injured doing this or injured doing that. And it's a mix of a lot of things. It's a mix of eating right, sleeping right, you're training, and you're keep staying consistent. So what do you think it is that has attributed to you being able to train for this long without taking a break?
Okay. Well, one thing I will say is, I'll tell people this all the time. It's a Zoom and you are watching you're watching us. So if we're not doing it the right way,
I'm calling you out.
You call me out. I like to hear, okay, Judy, perfect. So, and I listen to what you're telling other people too,
Yeah.
Do it the correct way. That is one thing. I feel very, like, I am 63 years old. I'm going to be 64 in the summer. And I very, very much believe right now, I have to continue doing what I'm doing, or I am not, like, if I was to take a bit of time off, it would probably be harder for me at this point in my life to get back into shape. So that is one thing for me where I'm like, I'd have to be like, I even worked out during COVID. I had COVID and I worked out. I think it helped me get over it faster. If I'm consistent with working out, I find that everything's limber, everything's loose. I think the exercises that we do push you, but they're not stuff that's just ridiculous. And
that will put you at risk.
I probably, the little bits of aches and pains that I have right now are probably from early on when I worked out and I wasn't doing stuff the right way. Years ago, would do something and be like, Michael says you're not supposed to do it like that. You're supposed to do it like this. And I'm like, well, I did here. So, I really don't have a lot of aches and pains. I think it actually helps to do those exercises to build your muscle and keep you from getting hurt.
A lot of people don't understand it unless they're in it, but exercising is a form of rehab, but it's not rehab because you're not recovering from an injury. So you could call it prehab. Often what happens is people get into their routine of whatever they're comfortable with when it comes to strength training, right? They do this, they do that, and they don't hit a movement a certain way, or they don't hit a muscle group a certain way. And then all of a sudden they go to use that muscle in real life. Maybe they join a sports league, or maybe it's just like a sudden movement where they have to catch something or grab something or reach for something. And their body's not exposed to that kind of movement often. So that's when it's like, oh, and they tweak something or pull something. And I try to, when I look at the week of workouts, try to make it so diverse that we hit every single movement, muscle group, this and that. Have back workouts where we're rowing, or back workouts where we're like extending, hyperextending, or back workouts where we're flying. All the different types of movements really get us stronger. And, a lot of women, when they think strong, they get a little scared because they think, oh, strong means look like Coach Mike. I'm going to be big with like a lot of muscles. But when I hear strong, if someone were to tell me, name one person that strong woman over the age of 50. If I show them a picture from your Facebook, they're going to say, oh, she doesn't look like big. And I'm like, no, but she can go through one of these boot camps like that and probably hit the road and then go run. Like, she is in really good shape. And I think I messaged you. I don't know if you remember, but I messaged you maybe a couple of weeks ago, and I was just like, I got to tell you, you're moving well. Like, you're killing it.
Yeah. So it was when I was going to Thailand, and I told you I was going to be out for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I'm going to tell you, we climbed this mountain. All right. And when you got to the top of it, it said, "You're spectacular. You made it to the top." And it's just like, I did boot camp 3 days a week. But like, I'm skiing, I'm hiking like crazy, we're kayaking, we're biking. I know that this helps with all of that too, not just working out for the sake of working out. It adds the ability to do so much other things in your life. Mm-hmm. And all this stuff helps. I wanted to tell you too, I know you know this, I was always a little off kilter because like one side, I wasn't symmetrical. I have scoliosis, my back is definitely slanted. And I went to the doctor about it because I'm getting ready to retire. And if I was going to have to do anything with my back, I wanted to do it while I was still working.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like 100.
Make some therapy, cover it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I went to this physical medicine and rehab doctor. I don't know if you know him, Jeff Keenan. He was describing me as being super fit. He wanted me to do all these stretches and all that kind of stuff. He said, "You're like hyper flexible." I didn't used to be.
I know. Remember those stretching sessions we would do after the
Yeah. I read his note and I'm kind of like, oh, that's so. I wanted to tell you that it was like, it's not by accident, obviously, but it was really,
through hard work.
But it was so funny. He said, you don't need to stretch as much as you stretch. And I'm kind of like, that's okay. I'm like,
you're like, I just exercise, work out, stretch a little bit. Like, a lot of the movements we do are stretching movements, like pendulum RDLs and the RDLs we do. That is awesome. That's amazing when you hear stuff like that, because sometimes you don't notice yourself because the change and adaptation that you make is so like day by day, small. So sometimes like you have to look at like an old picture, or you have to hear from someone who doesn't see you as often, and they like, oh, you look different. Talk about the convenience in the sense of what it's done for you, how it's made your life any easier, if it has.
One of the saddest days of my life was when you left, and one of the happiest days of my life was when I started working out virtually.
Yeah.
So, I love it. I love the convenience. I can have a cup of coffee in the morning, roll out of bed, get my stuff on, go downstairs and work out. I don't even go to the gym anymore. I let my
there you go.
I don't need it. I've got my basement.
And you're probably just as or even more fit.
Right. Oh, I love it. It is so convenient. And then on Sunday, if I feel like, hey, I think I'm going to do a leg workout, or I think I'm going to do a little workout and do it on demand.
If you had to talk to somebody, let's say someone was like, oh, what's resilience training? Or like, maybe I should do this. Maybe I'm on the fence of doing this. What would you tell them?
So, it's so funny, Michael. I have talked to so many people about this. I think they think I am super fit, and it's going to be really hard for them. I can't even. It must be at least 20 people. A couple of my sisters, every one of my sisters who have done this with me, particularly two of them in particular, that I have said, this would be great for you. This is exactly what you need. And they go, well, I'm thinking about it. It's a great workout. I really liked it a lot, but they get a little intimidated. I talk with people about it. I tell them how easy it is. And, oh my God, what a great value. I swear, I think the people from work that I have tried to, because like Catherine Hughes, Amy.
Oh, yeah, I remember Catherine.
Yeah, all those people. I'm like, this is perfect for you. And I think they just think Catherine thinks I'm just super fit and work out all the time. And I tell her no. Hey, you have had a huge impact on so many people's lives and mine. Okay. And I owe a lot of my feeling good right now to your consistency too. And I don't have to worry about if you're going to show up. If you can't make it, you're sending something for us to do. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's consistent, and that's important for me too. Michael's going to be looking for me at 6 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday.
Yeah. And whether I'm in Charlotte or Austin.
Yeah, you have to feel good about yourself in so many aspects to really be happy. The looking good part is really a byproduct of it, and should be the byproduct of it, but it's a nice byproduct of it.
Yes. I say if everything is feeling good on the inside, it's going to spill over and it's going to show out. You've already told me about hiking. You've already told me about skiing. But do you have a specific moment in time where you were like, wow, I don't think I would have been able to do A, B, and C before, or I just feel super strong, or I got this compliment or whatever. Do you have a story like that?
I would say this is kind of funny.
Because you've been so consistent for like, wait, let me think.
I think 2018. I think I have been working out with you since 2018.
Yes, you're exactly right.
So I had been, kind of working out on my own. And one day my sister had said something to me about and I had to kind of flex and she could kind of see my little tricep. And she had said, oh, look, I see that little tricep there. And now my tricep, I see my tricep.
Yeah. That's a good feeling too. You walk out in the mirror and you're like,
yeah.
Okay.
Like when we're doing that stuff and I'm just standing there holding the weights, I'm like, I can see the cut of my shoulders, the cut of my tricep and all that, just standing, waiting for, just holding the weight. I notice those things. I don't really need a lot of people to tell me that kind of stuff. But my husband absolutely, has said physically he thinks I'm looking really good, and he's really proud of my consistency too.
Isn't that awesome? That's so awesome. Because that's not something that he needs to say, but when he does, it's like, you can kind of play it off a little bit. That's awesome.
Anyhow, it's I would say we do a lot of hiking and going up mountains and hills. I really feel like I can take a hike and my husband will be sore the next day. I am not sore the next day.
And you're good.
I think to do the things that I want to do right now, it is important for me to do these things.
One of my clients, prospective clients, because she hasn't signed up yet, but she said, I'm old. She was like, I'm 57. I have clients that are over the age of 50, and I shared my screen. I went to Facebook. I said, this is one of my clients right here. And would you say she has a lot of muscle the way you're thinking about it? And she said, no, she looks good. I said, well, she's the definition of woman client of mine who's over 50, who I say is strong. She's very strong. She's very fit. And she works out with me at least 2 times a week. And she was like, oh, okay. Yeah. I would like to look like that. And I was like, okay, that's what I mean by strong.
I'm happy to help you in any way. Because like I said, I'm just like, I'm always afraid you're going to be like, oh, I'm done with that.
Oh, no. This is, when I first started doing this, like I told you, I had no clue what I was doing. And then as I was doing it, all the testimonies and the stories that they're giving me, the help that they say that this is providing them, I'm like, oh, this is priceless. I have a client in Spain. I have a client in Hungary. I have a client in London, England. I have a client in Chicago, Connecticut, Florida, like all over. And I wouldn't have been able to do this if COVID didn't mess stuff up for it.
I did on demand in Thailand. So there you go.
There you go. That's awesome. All right. So thank you so much. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.